Hello and welcome to another episode of VoiceBox. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Erna.
And today we are going to be looking at the environment. Recently, with issues like global warming and pollution being in the news and on everyone's minds, people are starting to sit up and take notice and try to take better care of their environment.
That's right. There are many issues regarding our environment, and people are starting to take notice and action to preserve our country and our climate.
That's right. And recently here in Ulaanbaatar, some young people got together to organise an art exhibition to try and raise awareness about the environment and about pollution in the city.
The exhibition was called Smoke on the Brain and tried to show the problems that pollution causes to the environment and to the climate.
So please welcome Alicia from the Arts Council, who helped to organise the exhibition.
Thanks, Andrew.
So could you tell us a little bit about the exhibition?
Smoke in the Brain was an exhibition involving 10 emerging artists. It was held at the Red Gate Gallery here in Ulaanbaatar and kind of looked at a whole lot of issues that are affecting the city here, mainly the smoke in the city and the pollution and the effect that that's having on the community. So it was a really great exhibition and it covered a whole lot of different media as well. It wasn't just painting or performance or anything like that. It was collage, graphics, video, installation, a whole lot of different stuff.
So what did the artists, do you think, wanted to gain from the exhibition?
I think for them it was a chance to all work together and collaborate on one central idea and express their individual voices on that theme and on that idea. I think using art as a medium for social change is very important, and particularly with the pollution, this was something that affects everybody in the city and affects them and affects everybody's lives. So for them, I think it was a matter of taking something that everybody can feel and relate to exactly, and using art has a really emotional impact on people, and sometimes you can read all data and statistics and things and learn about stuff, but when you actually see it presented in a different way, you can take it on board in a different way.
So did you see much result from the exhibition? Is there any plans to do it in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I think this group is looking at doing it again every year and maybe getting some other artists involved. It's something, and the issue of smoke in the city is not going away. It's not just going to blow away magically. So I think it is something that will continue to impact in Ulaanbaatar.
So do you think young artists will continue to use art in a way to make a change in the future?
Yeah, I really hope so. I think this is, because this is the first exhibition like this, I hope that other people use this as a guide to start doing their own exhibitions that have a theme and tackle an issue. There are a lot of artists already individually doing their own work that kind of explores deeper issues and themes that aren't just about making a pretty picture or making something beautiful, that are actually really looking at social issues, things like human trafficking and things like that. People are already doing that. So I really hope that this just keeps continuing and growing, and that as different contemporary art forms start to emerge in Mongolia as well, things like video art and stuff, can tell really great stories through that. So I'd really like to see people embracing that and using those technologies and those new forms of art to actually tackle some of the other issues that are affecting the society here. Yeah,
I think that since art is always growing, becoming different forms of art, I think people will start to find different ways and methods of using art, or using it, making a change. And
yeah, definitely. I mean, for all these artists, it's an outlet for them. It's a means to express a voice and opinion, and a lot of these people, it's the only way that they can express that, because they have this amazing talent, and it comes through, in their artwork, and then they share that with everybody else, which is, an amazing thing, which is why we love art and we appreciate it so much in society. It holds a really, really important value, and it has such it can have such an effect, on the person and the broader community. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for coming on the show today. It seems like it's making a huge impact in Mongolia, and hopefully people can continue to use art as a form to see change in the future.
Definitely, that's what we all hope for.
I agree with you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Another problem facing Mongolia today is desertification.
Desertification is where sand moves across the grassland and turns it into desert.
Now, this is a huge problem in Mongolia in particular, and studies have shown that up to 70% of the Mongolian landscape is affected by desertification at the moment, and if no action is taken, this could affect up to 90% of the Mongolian countryside.
That's right. This is a huge problem because most Mongolians depend on farming. If there is no land for the livestock to graze on, then people would be left without food.
That's right, but luckily there are some groups here in Mongolia that are working with people to try and find a solution to this problem. So we went to meet one of these groups to find out what work is being done. To find out a little bit more about desertification, we've come to meet an expert on the topic. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Iqbal. So I am a biologist by training, but later on I had a master degree, 2 master degrees on ecology and environmental science. So and I started working in this project which is called Coping with Desertification. It's funded by the Swiss government. So I'm working with since 2007. So that means I work more in the field of desertification.
Now, some people at home might not know exactly what desertification is, so maybe you could explain it a little bit for us.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question, because most of the people, just from the name, they will understand desertification is the desert, and they only think that this is maybe something happens in the Gobi or in desert, but this is desertification means it's much more broader understanding. This is rather it defines a process to reach into desert, So you can understand that the end process of desertification is desert. So it means there's a place that's just a sand, or there's not able to support any lives and any economic activities on this. If people degrade the land or harm the land, so that's just a start of desertification. This process continues, and then that piece of land will become a desert, and then not able to support any more economic activities or any lives.
So what is the current situation with desertification in Mongolia today?
So just to summarize it, today about 70% of the country is somewhat extent affected by desertification, whether it's low or whether it's severe, And if it's comparing to the last assessment, which was conducted in 2000, it's almost double the number. So, for example, in 1990, it's been assessed that about 44% of the country is affected by desertification. But whereas today, this is much, close to 70%.
So it does affect a lot of Mongolia?
Yes, about 40% of the employment, they're employed in the agriculture sector, which is herding livestock. And that also contributes to about 20% of our GDP, gross domestic product. And desertification basically threatens to this entire sector. There are 2 main factors to desertification. I would like to call it, one is more internal, which is direct impact, pasture degradation caused by too many number of livestock. Because since 1990, our number of livestock is almost doubled. Today's last count was indicated 47 million, whereas it was some 25 million head of livestock in 1999. So this number is continuously increasing, so especially the number of goat is increasing. So this is a main internal cause to desertification. So other impact could be also from this mining activities. There is also an external factor, so it is changing climate. So why it's external? Because this is not directly caused by us. This is rather a global issue. There's a developed country, and developing countries they are contributing to the global warming. So increased global warming means increase of temperature. There's a less rain, or there's a lot more natural disaster, causes more natural disaster. So these are 2 factors that are contributing to desertification in Mongolia. And today what we can see is that there's a lot of dust storm each year. So most desertification is happening in the dry step.